Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Thursday afternoon. Welcome into this, another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Randy Lee, and we'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. We knew it was going to happen eventually. Auburn basketball was going to lose a game. Unfortunately, it happened last night in Tuscaloosa. Auburn falls to Alabama 83-64. I think, look, I'm going to be clear about this and say Alabama had a lot to do with it. The way they played, they kept the pressure on Auburn. The tempo seemed to keep Auburn out of sync most of the night. They deserve an enormous amount of credit. They didn't play extremely well. They didn't shoot the ball extremely well, but they shot it well enough. But if you've watched Auburn play at all this year, it's not easy to say that's by far the worst game Auburn's played all year. They had 21 turnovers in this game. You got to go, Randy, all the way back to game number 1 against Georgia Southern when Auburn had 21 turnovers. Hadn't had any, I hadn't approached that number since. You go back, Auburn shot 31.7% from the field, 25% from three-point, and 56.7% from the free throw line. You look down through the numbers, 22 points in the paint. The only one time all year did they have less than that, and that was against St. Louis. There's so many season lows in this game for Auburn. And again, Alabama had a lot to do with it, but some of it just kind of inexplicable. The stat I remember that was kind of the most eye-popping, I guess, was probably, it was 10 minutes ago in the second half, maybe 8 minutes ago in the second half, and Auburn was 8 of 20 on dunks and layups. 8 of 20 on dunks and layups. I didn't even know that was possible to be that bad and miss that many point-blank shots. But it is what it is. Auburn falls, and Alabama, they brought their hard hats.
Yeah, they brought their hard hats, and it was, I want to start with a positive talk for Alabama. When you lose by 19, you deserve to tip your hat to the opposition, and that's what should happen. You got to learn how to lose, Andy.
Sure.
And we have been used to losing in this program for a long, long time. And
we were good at it.
We reel off 15 consecutive wins and come back and have a Final Four appearance last year. What are we asking for? But I didn't want to see it last night, of course, to Alabama, but I thought Alabama earned this victory. Defensively, they look better. You ask, how in the world can you be 8 of 20? I feel like about 30 seconds after that 8 of 20 was mentioned, we missed another dunk. Mm-hmm. So it was 8 of 21 at that point. And you say, well, how can that happen? Well, everything was defended. Anytime we got the ball down into the paint, it was defended. And it was active hands by Alabama. I thought early on, I had been on this program or our Saturday show. I get them all mixed up. I don't know which one. But I thought Austin Wiley had an opportunity to have one of his biggest games here, and it was needed. And in the early going, Andy, I thought the opportunities were there.
Yeah, got to the line a lot early.
Yeah, got to the line a lot, was a physical presence that they couldn't defend inside, was missing point-blank shots, but getting them. Offensive rebounding, just looked like a man amongst boys down in the paint. And my hope was you can get a game where you get an 18-13 out of Austin Wiley or a 20-13 out of Austin Wiley. It didn't happen last night, unfortunately, Andy. And we needed it. And we needed Samir Dowdy to just be his normal self. I think he would say the same. He's been great for Auburn. He's active. He played hard last night, but it was his worst basketball game I can remember in 2 years.
Yeah, 7 turnovers for Dowdy last night. He had more turnovers than he had points. That kind of says what kind of night it was for him. Maybe his headband was missing.
Well, he took it off about halfway through the first
And
half.
they
He
just
said,
got sick
let's
of it.
change this up a little bit.
Didn't help for Samir. But look, and again, that is somewhat inexplicable that he was going to have a game like that. But no doubt, nonetheless, it is a team game, and everybody was involved in it. Kara Lewis, he had one of his better games this year for Alabama. I think he had 25 in the game. Auburn couldn't stay in front of him.
No.
I mean, it was much like Saban Lee. And I thought back to that Vanderbilt game. Alabama got to the rim whenever they wanted to. We could not stay in front of them. You know, Brett and I talked about yesterday who we were most concerned with, or who Auburn needed to really put the clamps on. Was it Lewis? Was it John Petty? And to Brett's credit, he said, Lewis is the one that starts the drink for them, and that's what happened last night. Obviously, Alex Reese stepped up pretty big with some big three-pointers, but Auburn never could get in a flow offensively, and it had a lot to do with the transition. I go back again, a season low. Auburn had 4 fast break points. They've been in double digits, I believe. If I missed one, they've been in double digits every single game this year. Their defense has allowed them to turn people over, and they get in transition. They get easy buckets. Didn't happen last night. Alabama's tempo kept Auburn out of sync, and for whatever reason, Auburn just could never get in the flow. They missed, like I said, so many layups and dunks and things like that. They fought back down 14 in the first half. I think cut it to about 4 or 5, but could never get really any closer than that. Came out in the second half, and of course promptly turned the ball over the first possession of the game. Just a lazy pass. How many lazy passes were there last night?
Well, and again, I'd like to stay positive here because I don't want to be that Auburn fan that comes up here and acts like fouls were an issue or we just didn't play up to standard or we didn't play hard. No, I thought
we did not play up to standard.
We didn't play up to standard, but I thought the better team won last night.
No.
I think the best player on the court was Kyra Lewis.
I don't think the better team won last night. I think the team that played better won last night.
Well, you can spin it that way. But last night, at any point in time in that game, I didn't feel like it was our night.
Yeah.
It looked like their night. We have problems. Defending on the bounce is a problem for Auburn. NC State exposed us.
Yeah.
Their point, we never kept him in front. But you pick your poison. If you're going to play an up-tempo brand of basketball on the defensive end, which is what Auburn chooses to do, and you're going to have wing guys like Okoro and Dowdy defend points, they're going to have to run the three-point line. And when the team you're playing has hit 10-plus three-pointers per game, they're first in the conference, second in the country, and Alabama coming in, you got to know the game plan is to run the three-point line, which means extend the defense, which means don't give up the shot. They still hit shots. But when you extend it out there, and Javon McCormick has got to match up with Kyra Lewis, for the most part, that's not going to work out for you. And it didn't last night. And their ability to get the ball down into the paint, let's look at paint, points in the paint. Who would have picked this?
Well, I go back. Alabama was plus 12 at the free throw line.
Yeah.
They were plus 12 in the paint. That's the game.
Who would have ever thought that?
Plus 24.
I would have never guessed that.
I would have not either.
But it is what it is. And it's a great game by Alabama.
Absolutely. They outplayed Auburn.
Sure did.
There is no question whatsoever.
And matched up
And
well
give
with
them
Auburn, which
credit for
was a shock to me, Andy. I thought from an athleticism standpoint, especially down in the post, I didn't think they'd match up well.
Yeah.
I've never been impressed with Reese outside of he is a 3 guy that's 6'9", that can extend a defensive player from the inside out and knock down shots. But he was great last night.
Herb Jones was good.
You know where they were both good too is on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. Herb Jones is always a great defender, but Reese was a really aggressive, active hands defender last night. Alabama's getting better. Look, that's good for the state.
I'm not surprised Auburn lost this game at all. I'm just surprised that Auburn had 21 turnovers and had 4 fast break points and 22 points in the paint. Those are the numbers that stick out to me. We've been talking the whole time about Auburn, the free throw shooting being a problem. Now we've had some lower performances as far as percentage-wise. 56.7% was was the percentage last night. We've had some lower than that this year. But it was because we went 7 of 15 or, 8 of 16 or whatever. We shot 30 foul shots last night and only made 17. On the other hand, Alabama shot 37, made 29. So, Alabama did the little things that made the difference. And when you looked, and the crowd was into it. It was a good crowd, good environment for them. Thought the game was called tightly, which helped Alabama. But, it is what it is.
It was. The officials became a part of the game. The old saying that you want to be kind of invisible out there and not really be a part of the game. It never was the case last night. And I know it was physical, but, man, they called a dozen fouls that were so ticky-tack. Come on.
Yeah.
Really. And it went both ways. They called some that Auburn made on Alabama. Lord, let the guys play a little bit. Would you please not turn a 2-hour game into a 3-hour game just because you got to call every little touch?
McCormick had a bad game, too. He and Dowdy both fouled out of this game. I think that's the first time all year anybody's fouled out for Auburn.
I still can't get by, though, that this is a Dowdy issue. Mm-hmm. Dowdy's our second point. Dowdy has the basketball in his hands a lot. He does a lot of dirty work. He's got to be a lot better for this Auburn team to get to its ceiling, and I think he will. I'm hoping last night was an outlier more than what we're going to see moving down the stretch.
And we've been saying what happens when Auburn finally loses the game. How do they handle it?
We'll see Saturday.
Up against the break. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Hidley Towers is an affordable senior citizen community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East, where spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living, where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more about Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552, where your family at Hidley Towers. That's 256-329-0552.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Start the new year off with something new during the Start Something New sales event at Bice Motors. Lease a 2019 Dodge Challenger SXT for $319 a month with 0 down. 2020 Ram Bighorn Crew Cab for $349 a month. 2020 Jeep Gladiator for $329 a month. And to honor our first responders, get an additional $500 rebate.
Come see us in Alex City.
Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you for about 45 more minutes in today's show. Auburn falls to Alabama 83-64 in Tuscaloosa last night. Again, Auburn, starting the season 15-0, pretty, unprecedented fashion, number 4 in the country. But last night's a prime example. This week is a prime example of how wild this college basketball season is. Duke has already lost a couple of times. They lose to Clemson. North Carolina is, not even on the radar of anybody. Kansas loses. Kentucky goes into South Carolina and loses last night. Anybody can beat anybody this year.
And I'll read some of the comments that we're getting on Facebook, and I'll start with Luke Robinson because that's what Luke said. He said, wild game. That game also showed me that there is very little difference in the top 40 or 50 teams this year. There's no great team out there we're all chasing. I think he's dead on. There's no Kentucky of a few years ago. There's even no Virginia or Auburn, how they ended up last year, even though Auburn was not a completely unbeatable team throughout the year. I think if any team in the SEC you thought may be unbeatable, it was Tennessee for a majority of the time. But I think Luke's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Gonzaga may end up being the team with the best record because of the schedule, but maybe that or San Diego State, one of the two.
And San Diego State's been really good for a while. Yeah. So they're a lot like Auburn. Texas Tech was the same last year. So there are some teams that you don't expect to get these type of seasons out of that are becoming consistent. Yeah. Now can anyone get their program to the level that Gonzaga has gotten theirs to where it's almost expected year in and year out? A couple of more comments out there. Our good friend Jeff Hines, who was a part of this program for quite some time, said that he thought the 21 turnovers and the inability for Auburn to defend off the bounce was the problem. And I can't agree more. That's actually what I said in the opening segment, that we've got a problem. We got a deficiency there, and I don't know if it's something that you can cure the way that this Auburn defense is trying to get out there and at least defend the three-point line.
Patrick said the same thing, said Keir Lewis outplayed Auburn's guards, and that was the difference in the game. That was an enormous difference. And again, I go back to, you saw it, like you said, against NC State. You saw it against Vanderbilt. Really athletic guards, when they can put the ball on the floor, they are creating some mismatches. They're creating some bad defensive sets for Auburn. And you got to get that figured out in some way.
Well, if you don't, it's going to be there's going to be probably 6, 7, 8 more of these in the SEC play. Majority of them on the road. You're going to end up in the same type of fashion that you had last night. Brett said our offensive slow start finally caught up with us. Never could take their crowd out of it. We had our chances too, just couldn't hit shots. And it was that kind of night last night. We made runs. We played hard. We didn't give up. Bruce Pearl was coaching them till the end. But inability to hit shots, and when you did hit shots, to not hit them in concession, to never really start reeling them off. It was an Okoro spurt.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Purifoy spurt.
Okoro
yeah, he really kept us in it there early, and looked the part.
That stretch there, if I remember right, watching it, you kind of get, I get lost in the flow of the game. But when we cut it to 44 to 42, maybe 44, 43, that stretch where we really made a run in that second half, I think we went like, 5 or 6 straight times to the free throw line and only got 1 and 2. And that was, if we could have put those in, I think we could have taken the lead. And if we ever took the lead, I felt like maybe we were going to had a chance to take control of the game. But we just could never get over the hump. And Alabama, to their credit, every time Auburn made a run, they had an answer.
Ed Hines said missed 19 layups or putbacks, were 17 of 30 from the free throw line. Guards have had a hard time defending the last 3 games. Hats off to Bama basketball.
Yeah.
Started the first segment with that. Tip your hat to them.
Absolutely.
This was not a game where you go Auburn just completely shot their foot off. No, Alabama looked the part. The matchups were pretty good for Alabama. They matched up okay with us inside. They've got some defenders that if they get things corralled, but look, this is still a 9-7 Alabama team. This is not a world beater by no stretch, but they were good enough athletically to match up with Auburn last night, and I questioned whether they could do that or not, Andy.
Yeah, look, Alabama will turn around and lose to somebody
Yeah.
that you think that's not even possible. They're finding their way this year. They're going to win some games and lose some games, and they'll probably end up about 500, maybe 10-8 in the league. They could get there, but Auburn's got their work cut out for them. This stretch is going to be, and we knew it was going to be very difficult. I thought, looking at the first 4 games, that we needed to be at worst 3-1, and I thought that was very an attainable goal, and I thought it was a very reasonable goal. Now you got Florida on the road, South Carolina, Iowa State, and Ole Miss on the road. That's your next 4 games. Florida's going to be very difficult. Now, I don't know what kind of Florida team we're going to get Saturday. We're going to get the one that got run off the floor against Missouri, or we're going to get the one that will run somebody else. That will run somebody else off the floor. I don't know. They're kind of a team I can't really get a handle on right now. But South Carolina, good at home, but you would expect Auburn to win in Auburn Arena. Iowa State, they've got some good players, but they're a 500 team. Ole Miss on the road. Ole Miss struggling right now. They haven't won a game in the SEC yet. So lick your wounds, understand what you did wrong last night against Alabama, and figure out a good game plan to go into Florida, because you lose 2 in a row, then it becomes a psychological thing. Are you on a losing streak?
Do you think, and I know we only got about a minute left here in this segment, but as we get halfway through the season, are there some big-time question marks that you think are going to keep Auburn from hitting their ceiling, and what are those right now, Andy?
Well, defensive guard play is beginning to be an issue.
Yes.
Clearly, that's something that if it continues is going to – and Auburn's inability to consistently shoot the basketball.
I'm worried about that.
Those are the 2 things that probably stand out the most. We rebound well. As a team, we played really good team defense, but like you say, I think those 2. We'll think about it during the break. Love to hear from you. What do you think? Auburn's biggest deficiencies moving forward. Can they be solved? Don't go anywhere. More to come on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
At Mortgage Pro, we won't be able to finance a new car or new boat. We can't open you a checking account. Mortgage Pro specializes in mortgage loans. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, the only way to go is Mortgage Pro. We can close in 15 days or less. We can offer the best rates in the mortgage industry. And we can waive appraisal fees on any new loan from September 1st until December 31st. Call Mortgage Pro today.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
I am Lisa McClendon from Country Financial, and I have spent years in our community helping people protect their homes, cars, and lives. I am proud to be a member of the 2018 National Championship Team and a National Advisory Council member for Country Financial. Complete financial security does not end with just insurance. I am also here to help you plan for your financial future.
Together, we can help you set up a step-by-step plan to reach financial security.
Let's talk soon.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you for about 30 more minutes in today's show, brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center with 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply needs, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center. You certainly be glad you did. Got a brand new facility open there in Auburn across from Publix on Shug Jordan. Go and check them out. But hey, there's one close to you if you live in Central Alabama. So it's always convenient to go to Russell Building Supply or Russell Do-It Center. Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, also one of our great sponsors here on the Auburn Blitz. If you bought a home in the last 2 years, now is actually a really good time to refinance. Interest rates happen to be extremely low. They are saving people money each and every day there at Mortgage Pro. We're talking about thousands of dollars a year back in your pocket. That's real money. Whether it's your first mortgage or an existing mortgage or a reverse mortgage, they can help you with all points in between. Eric McKinley and his team are always looking out for the best interests of their clients. They're located right here in Alexander City, but they service the entire state of Alabama. Give them a call today, 256-397-0248. That's Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, 256-397-0248. We're talking about Auburn's loss to Alabama last night in Tuscaloosa. Some interesting comments coming through. Jeremy says sometimes a loss is a good thing. It's an attention getter. Hate that it happened in Tuscaloosa, as we all do, in a rivalry game, but basketball is different. I mean, you know, losses are going to happen. Auburn has not fared well in Tuscaloosa over the years, at least for history-wise, but they had won the last two, and I think this was going for maybe 3 in a row, which hadn't happened maybe since the 70s. So Auburn basketball program on pretty good footing. Let's all just take let's relax a little bit. I know that nobody likes to lose to Alabama, but it was a bad game. Bad games are going to happen. Let's see what Bruce had to say about it. He said, I am very proud of my team for winning our first 15 games. I think you could see why I have said we are a good team, but I have yet to say we are a very good team yet. He says that that's not posturing. That's the way he really felt. He says to be able to beat Alabama on their home floor, you have to play very good. We didn't even come close.
I couldn't have said it any better. And I have felt that way, not just posturing as well. Yeah. I mean, I think that's who we are. And unfortunately, we just do not shoot the ball all that well from the perimeter. I like bits and pieces of all of our offensive players' games, but we lived and died by the three, and when we got hot last year, we'd run you out of the gym. Mm-hmm. I don't sense running anyone out of the gym right now. And who do I tell you a player I'd like to see more out of, because I think he's our best shooter, is Jamal Johnson. Yeah. He played 16 minutes last night. He got 10 points, had one rebound as well. But that guy, when we run him off of picks up at the top of the paint and he knocked that three down, he's just a guy that when he does play the minutes, he seems to get 2, 3, 4 threes made, and we need those 2, 3, 4 threes made per game, and we got to find a way. I don't know if there's a question mark with him defensively. I don't know if there's certain matchups that we worry about, but do you feel the same? He has the best shot here on this Auburn team consistently, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to take advantage of it moving forward. We're going to have to start running him off some screens specifically to get him going, I think, early in games, because he's shown that he, like you said, I mean, and it's pretty obvious. He's the one with the smoothest, and he just looks like a shooter when it lets go, when it turns loose. It's like Purifoy. I mean, Purifoy if he could, I don't know, obviously you just can't turn it on, turn it off, but when he gets hot, I mean, feed him the ball as often as possible, but he's had a trouble getting in the flow of games as well. He didn't have a great game last night either. I think it affected his defense a little bit more. Only 3 rebounds last night for Purifoy. He's been averaging about 8 or 9. So that was kind of the thing. It just seemed like, again, Auburn was out of sync both ends of the floor most of last night. Bruce said the biggest surprise to me is we weren't more effective offensively to turn the ball over as many times as we did. We really struggled to execute. We didn't have a lot of complicated things in, and we didn't execute the stuff we had in. And as a result, we got beat badly. So even Bruce, he said, we did. It's not like we tried to do anything exotic. It's not like we tried to do anything different than we've been doing. Very surprised. And Alabama has not been known for defense. But I will give them credit. They played better defense last night than I've seen them play in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, great pressure. Their hands
Especially
were really
on
good.
McCormick.
Getting in passing. When we got the ball down into the paint, they seemed to disrupt us and get a hand on the ball. But McCormick, he was defended well. Even when he broke down the defender in front of him and got the ball down into the paint, there was a presence to come across and make it not easy. So the shots that he did hit, which weren't many, what did he have last night? He had 5.6 rebounds, and that's not going to get it, because that guy, other than Samir Dowdy, he's our lone presence handling the basketball.
And, he's kind of stepped up in the last several games as being the guy that if we really needed a basket, if we went through a cold stretch and we didn't get it to Okoro, we'd let him drive to the hole. And that was the first game that I can remember this season where he could not get to the hole consistently. So, I give Alabama a lot of credit for that and the way they defended him. Bruce said we were really sloppy offensively. Spacing, timing, feel. A lot of that starts with our point guards. We will have another opportunity this week to shore that up. We don't shoot the ball well enough offensively to make up what we don't execute or space, and it caught up with us tonight.
Well, if you watch Bruce on the sideline last night, I haven't seen him as frustrated with what was going on out there from a play standpoint in a couple of years. as he was last night. Even on the high ball screen where Jamal Johnson comes off, catches and shoots in rhythm, hits the three, Coach Pearl was not happy. I don't know if the pick was not clean up top. We had several moving picks that were called. But even though the shot was made, I mean, he gave one of those walking over to the sideline, and I kind of noticed that. And it was just part of the storyline with the game in general is, yes, something may have gone right, and we may have gotten away with something there, but we didn't deserve it. And you could sense that from him a lot last night.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was kind of the theme of the night. We're up against another break here on the Auburn Blitz, but hey, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Be the hostess with the mostest this holiday season at Chicken Salad Chick with our easy party catering. Need a quick appetizer? Stop by Chicken Salad Chick and grab a quick chick of any chicken salad flavor or the pimento cheese ball covered with crushed pecans and crispy bacon. Remember, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. For a limited time, our pumpkin cheesecake is back and it's delicious. Chicken Salad Chick can feed any holiday crowd with our custom fit catering. 12 flavors of chicken salad, there's sure to be something for every taste bud.
Tires are important, and when getting a great price on tires, you want to get it right. So make the short drive to Wright's Tire in Sylacauga. Wright's Tire can get you any make or model of tire, and they make the drive worth it with volume pricing. Whether North Tallapoosa, South Talladega, or Coosa County, make the right choice, the right selection, the right service, and the right price. All at Wright's Tire on Fort William Street in Sylacauga. Call for a free quote, 256-245-7778, and get the right price on tires.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs. Or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neuson. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you for just a couple more segments in today's show. Change gears a little bit, move over to some other Auburn sports. It's that time of year. We're about midway through January. Spring sports starting to hit the practice field. Auburn baseball kickoff early mid-February, I think February 14th maybe, with a 3-game series. Auburn softball getting underway, I think February 5th in a tournament down in Clearwater, Florida. So softball season, year 3 under Mickey Dean. Auburn projected by the coaches in the preseason poll 11th out of 13 teams. 11th out of 13 teams. So, we didn't care about softball for, I don't know, I think it came into being about 95. I didn't even know they had one until, they started playing for national championships. That was obviously all due to Clint Myers, but that whole situation went sour about the time we started the Auburn Blitz, if I remember.
I think you're right, yes.
And now, again, year 3 under Mickey Dean. Auburn had a really good recruiting class, but I think they're really young. Got some exciting young pitchers. One, I think, Gatorade Player of the Year, maybe. KK Dismukes, I believe, pitcher. So could be interesting, but not a lot expected, at least from the national perspective from this Auburn team.
Hey, here's how the preseason coaches poll went down for the softball teams here in the SEC. Alabama, who won 60 ball games last year, comes in at number 1. Tennessee at number 2, LSU 3, Kentucky 4, Florida 5, Georgia 6, Arkansas 7, Ole Miss 8, South Carolina 9, Missouri 10, Auburn there at 11, Mississippi State 12, and Texas A&M 13. We were spoiled. We were spoiled for a while, and you almost expected us to be 1, 2, or 3 no matter what. And now we start to realize how tough it is, especially in the SEC, Andy, where softballs really reap the rewards of growing TV revenue, growing revenue in general, throwing a fair percentage of that money back at facilities and
huge
care
fan
for.
Support.
Huge fan support, which makes it not just a cash cow for the women's sport. So, it's expected. I don't like seeing us there at 11.
No, I don't either. I mean, a little bit Florida, hey, dropping below Tennessee, LSU, and Kentucky. I mean, Florida was, winning national titles down there, competing for them. Seemed like every year, so maybe they take a little bit of a step back. But this preseason probably doesn't mean anything. It's just what the expectations are. I think Auburn basketball was maybe 5th voted this year, so and they looked like maybe the best team in the SEC up until last night. So we'll see what happens in year 3 under Mickey Dean. Hopefully he can get it going this year, and they can have a kind of a resurgent year under the softball. Haven't played bad. Made, I think, the NCAA tournament. I know they made the NCAA tournament last year, but would like to see them maybe compete and have a chance to go to the World Series. Auburn baseball, as we mentioned, they began practice last week. They'll first series will be, I believe, the 14th of February. How about Tim Hudson coming on, being hired as Auburn's new pitching coach? Hudson, of course, played for Auburn, was a star. Played only 1 year. In 1997, had maybe one of the best years maybe ever for an Auburn baseball player. But he's hired as pitching coach. Bush Thompson adding another former Auburn player to his staff, Dan Gamache. I think that's how you pronounce it, Gamache. Played back about 10 years ago. Spent 9 years in the minor leagues. You spend 9 years in the minor leagues. You love baseball.
Yes, you do.
And you have to have learned a lot, I would imagine. So he's a student coach for them. We'll see what, Butch said, look, man, I mean, it gives me an opportunity. I don't have to hit BP or I don't have to hit, infield practice. He can do that. I can sit back and watch and coach. And so it's a good thing, I think, maybe all the way around. Your thoughts on Tim Hudson?
Well, I'm thrilled that Tim Hudson's on this staff. If he wants to do this, he comes across as a guy it's not a put on. It's not just him using his name to be around the program and not add something to it. No, I think he's a baseball guy at heart. Seems like a normal average Joe too. The way he carries himself and how passionate he is for that community and giving back. And he found himself around the baseball program a lot in the last couple of years. So I'm not surprised to see him want to jump into this. And Tim Hudson was a Bulldog. He was a competitor. He weighed 160 pounds. I remember looking when he was on the Braves roster. I said, Tim Hudson's not a big guy. I'm wondering what he is. Looked on the Braves roster as he's well into his major league career, and he's 6 foot, 160 pounds. Yeah. So, and you may say, well, Randy, what does that mean? Well, I think that he's not the Nolan Ryan type that got up there and Bulldog blew everything by someone. I think he had to be headsy, and I think he had to take advantage of the gifts that he was given, and he was given a lot of them. But I think that can transition better than just the big burly guy that's throwing 99 and had a lot of the characteristics that you're looking for to be a major league. I think that probably pans over and hopefully becomes a great pitching coach, and then I would guess if he wants to be a head coach, he'll have those opportunities soon.
That would be interesting to see. Maybe not former, but prospective Auburn head coach.
Never know.
Never know. Another former Auburn player, Damon Haker, played just back in, I think in the 2013, 14, 15, somewhere in there. Actually hired as the hitting coach for the Ole Miss softball team. He was working at Lee Scott Academy there in Auburn, coaching summer baseball, but his wife played softball for Reuben Felix, who is the new head coach at Ole Miss. So there was that connection. Now he's got him a job as a hitting coach for softball.
I think there's a lot of guys that transition from baseball players to softball coaches, and they can reach women.
Clint Myers was one.
Girls, and I see in the high school ranks here in this state, some of the best softball coaches I know are men that were big-time baseball players, and they just found a way, maybe through a daughter or something, to get engaged in the game and then wanted to stick with it. So we'll see. That's interesting. A lot of news going on in the coaching world right now, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I mean, a lot of swapping, and we'll get to that when we come back right after this message is from your local sponsor.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Mortgage Pro is the new standard for mortgage loans. While other banks are taking 45 to 60 days to close a loan, Mortgage Pro is making it happen in less than 15 days. Your mortgage loan goes from start to finish in less than 15 days. Mortgage Pro is able to make this happen by having the most advanced technology and a highly trained staff with over 98 years combined experience. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your current mortgage, call Mortgage Pro and let our team go to work for you.
Everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy taking you up to 1 o'clock here. How about nobody in the SEC will have to worry about Edwards-Helaire or Justin Jefferson or Grant Delpit or Jacob Phillips, who led LSU in tackles this year, amongst Patrick Queen, amongst others. The exodus at LSU. Now, you have a championship team like this, you're going to lose a lot off of it. And they lose Joe Brady. Now they lose all these players. You lose Joe Burrow. That team going to look a lot different next year.
Well, it will. And, what do you have to – one of the best teams that we've ever had, not only in the SEC but overall. And so, one loss or no type of championship next year is a loss for this LSU squad. So I'm not surprised to see these guys have an opportunity and have a good draft grade, to go ahead and take advantage of it, because they did everything they wanted to do. It's kind of already by them now. What's the need to try to do that again?
That's for sure. And good for them. They could be like the '85 Bears.
Let them go.
This team hit that pinnacle and have every opportunity to get back and do it again, but never realize.
Just let them go.
Just let them go.
Okay.
On this day, January the 16th, 1966, Chicago was granted an NBA franchise they would call the Bulls.
And I don't think they were any good until the mid-'80s.
No.
Mid to late 80s.
When they drafted a young man by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
And it changed things.
He changed a franchise. He changed the world, maybe. Certainly the basketball world.
Well, and he was right behind the Bird and Magic era, kicking into the NBA, and David Stern passing away last week. And, it was a good time for David Stern to take that league over, because Magic and Bird had the talk, or a lot of the talk around them, and then once you got Bird and you got Isaiah and you got all of that crew in, and they took it to the next level. But of course it was Bird that really did it. Of course it was Jordan that really did it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. On this day, 1970, Curt Flood files a civil lawsuit challenging baseball's reserve clause, and today we have free agency.
He earned it. And it hurt him. It hurt his career.
Sure.
You ever watched Baseball by Ken Burns?
Yes, I have.
Is it not great?
Wonderful.
It's glorious.
It's it's an investment.
Oh yeah.
There's about 10 hours of it, but it's God, man, it's great.
It's really good. And
Luke would love it.
Oh yeah, Luke. He would just eat him up. You know, they should do something on basketball or football like this. I know that it's not America's pastime, and so Ken Burns can't go back into the late 1800s and show. But there's enough there. I think he can make anything Ken Burns does is great.
Oh yeah,
and he's the best documentarian we've ever had here in this country.
I got the country music one for Christmas if you want to borrow it sometime.
I'd like to.
I figured you would.
Yeah, please do. Have you watched all of it?
I have not.
Well, come on, Andy.
What
are you doing with your time?
I'm doing this show every day. On this day, 1981, Leon Spinks, the poor guy, is mugged, and his assailants even take his gold teeth.
Is this?
That is real. That actually happened.
I didn't know this.
I didn't either. I feel bad for the guy. And he got knocked out by Mike Tyson.
I wouldn't even call that a knockout. That was a mugging.
He knocked out his gold teeth. 1988, on this day, the St. Louis Cardinals announced they are moving to Phoenix. Good move for them, I think. It worked out well. Not the baseball, the football.
I think it's been I guess it's been an area here in this country that has grown the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
That whole Arizona market in professional sports, anything that goes in there has held on, haven't they?
Diamondbacks, they do well. Cardinals have done well. Yeah, I think so. On this day, last year, or 2019, last year, Steph Curry became the first NBA player to hit 8+ 3-point field goals in 3 consecutive games. And I think the Warriors have won 8 games this year.
They're pitiful.
They are struggling.
But
have you ever seen a team go from what people thought may have been the greatest dynasty or one of the greatest teams ever to this?
Well, it's easy to understand why in basketball when you got your three best players out. There's no replacing that.
No, that's for sure.
So
thanks, Kurt Flood.
Yeah, free agents. Got to make that money.
Guys go here and there. They're everywhere now. Happy birthday today, Eric Liddell. We just mentioned Harold Abrahams the other day, his birthday. This is the other guy from the Chariots of Fire. This is a guy who won the gold medal in 1924. It's who the thing's about. He was a tremendous guy, too. He was a missionary, went to China and died in China in like an internment camp or something.
Great movie.
A wonderful movie.
Love the movie.
It was soared like eagles. Oh, it's great. Dizzy Dean, born on this day, 1911. Happy birthday. A.J. Foyt, 4-time Indianapolis 500 winner, born on this day, 1935. Ronnie Millsap.
Oh, that's the best one you've mentioned. Oh, the whole, he's got a greatest hits that I still play a lot down at work.
I'm sure. That is a good. Born on this day, 1943. John Carpenter, great director, some of my favorites, Halloween, Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, it would be.
The Thing.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You like odd movies.
Man, everybody likes those movies. What are you talking about? Blackjack McDowell.
Great pitcher for a small stretch.
For the White Sox, and then pitched for the Yankees. Did he throw a no-hitter for the Yankees?
I think he did.
Perfect game?
He threw a no-hitter or a perfect game after his prime.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oddly.
Roy Jones Jr., a lot of people thought was the pound-for-pound the greatest boxer ever.
He was for a couple of years.
Tremendous. Willie Whitehead played for Auburn defensive line from Tuskegee, Alabama. Born on this day, 1973. And the machine, Albert Pujols, born on this day, 1980.
Is he still playing?
I believe he is, out in Anaheim.
How old is he?
Well, he was born in 80, so...
Oh, wow, yeah, he turns 40 this year.
40 this year. Hard to believe. His career took a steep decline after he left St. Louis, but the numbers he put up early in his career, unbelievable. Just a phenomenal hitter. Unfortunately, on this day, we say rest in peace to Ted Cassidy. Who is that? Lurch from the Addams Family. Died on this day, 1979.
You like the Addams Family?
I did. I like the old black and white. Watched it on TV. Used to watch it all the time. Trey Wilson was played the manager of the Durham Bulls in Bull Durham.
Great movie.
Great movie. One of my favorites. Died on this day, 1989. I think that movie came out. And Russell Johnson died on this day, 2014. Professor from Gilligan's Island. We got to go. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.